Well, hello everyone. Here, right here is like talk about for the Salvage Joke 5 and talk about it's like for a one-day car. But other than that, there's something about the just right down the street. But you have right here is like a put together right here are some examples right here of like a demolition derby race. And I'm sure if anybody here has ever been to one of these, one of these events is to where that have right here's a number of cars right here, about maybe about 11 cars altogether that would be participating in a race. And like there's something about the that I don't like. There's something about the that you don't like. There's something about the that I don't like. Yeah, about the that you don't like, huh? Like I'm not talking about the weather, man. I'm not talking about the lawnmower either. I'm talking about the just right down the street. Well, of course, this right here is like a track, I guess, if you want to call it like a track right here, to where you have right here is like a track where you have these different cars right here. One of them could be what you call your car number 1 and 2 and 3, but it's like there's something about the that I don't like. Yeah, well. And then you have right here is like with these different cars right here, and you have right here is like with the drivers right here, like they'll be driving around and like the one about if anybody warrant to where that they've been to a demolition derby race before is to where that one of them it's like that they would like ram drive the car and then ram into another car and all that other stuff that we would see on the demolition derbies, but you have right here, it's like this right here, the gentleman that wanted to tear up an old car, and I'm like, yeah, for about that you're driving around like and having fun with the car, especially. And this right here is like that you for any type of races though is to where I was like ladies and gentlemen, start your engine. Like a go destruction, and it's like known about like for like any type of demolition derby race it is like a that's another one down, 3 to go. Other than like ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Well, other than him to talk about right here is like there's something about the that I don't like yeah, like about the I know, yeah, between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and like hearing about the neighbor that wanted to, like drive the car and drive it back and forth to work, but just knowing about really about how we act is to where you wanted to put it that well, the door is shut on both sides, and wanted to put one of those like in demolition derby. And if anybody wants to where any type of traffic lights, it could be in the race as well. But you have right here's an example right here of a pickup truck, and you have right here's like a van right here, and then this right here that I do this example right here. This was right here was example right here of like a Firebird. So if anybody wants to where any type of Firebird, and then you have right here's a minivan, and then like any kind of van, and then this right here, I'm like whatever cars it could be participating. You have right here's a pickup truck. So you have these different cars right here. That one of them could be what you call a mark for like a car. Like a I can maybe write this on here for like car number 8 right here. Car number 8, and then you have right here it's like for car number 2 or something like that. But give these cars a particular number. You have right here's a helmet right here. Anybody like warrant or yeah, like a helmet right here. Wear on your head, just for extra protection, and for anybody that may warrant or yeah, they go crazy cars, but you have right there, it's like for the helmet right there, and then you have right here is anybody say that yeah, that if you want to just like besides you say you're making sure that you break the windows, smash the windows out, be able to put a roll cage in the car, and then I want to know about if you flatten the tire, especially it's like, and have right here's the example right here, it's like, go ahead young man, go ahead and kick the tire and flatten the tire a little bit, so that way whenever it drives a little bit more smoothlier, but still, that for any cars that's going to be in the race, is that you're like wanting to where that the fastest it may go is to about maybe 35 miles an hour. So you're like, well, while you're driving, it's like, and all of a sudden it's like, like word to where like there's something about the that I don't like. And but other than that, whenever they put the car in driver reverse, it's like But other than that, like talking right here is for any type of demolition derby race, and you're like wanting to, or like you say for go destruction. I don't know, and then nobody's like, yeah, you crash it and make it and be the chance to grind it under your wheel. But on your hand, at for any type of a salvage, what about it's like for any type of a demolition derby race, and we're like warned to where that really about the whole purpose about a demolition derby race is to where to take the car and drive it, and all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you have fun with it, or knowing about it's like for the amount of protection as well. And I know that I always also think about drawing in some details. If there was a car maybe that was overturned or anything like that, maybe if it was smoking real bad or anything like that, and you're like warned to it, that's when time that whenever knowing about whenever a vehicle is going to be out of the race. So I went and drew these two examples right here of a car. Two cars will be rear-ending, like one of them will be rear-ending each other, and and one of them is like the SUV, and the other one could be maybe a convertible or maybe a sedan or something like that. And I say they say go drive it in reverse, like and then I was like, yeah, that for how that they run into each other, and for the amount of wear and tear and damage that's done on your car. And you're like wanting to I wanted cars I could tear it up. There's something about the that I don't like. There's something about the what? There's something about the just right down the that I don't like. Well, on the other hand, I talk about right here is like for Salvage Joke is to her. If anybody that may want to her that any parts that come from the car, it's like after they score what you call a loud. And you're like worrying toward anything about maybe the headlights or maybe the bumper that may come off the car. And sometimes whenever you're going to be in like any type of a demolition or destruction derby race, and sometimes even whenever the hood falls off, and you're like worrying toward, oh, that's okay, you don't need that hood anyway. But on the other hand, be driving the car, and it's there's another one down. 3 to go. There's another one down. Another car demolished. And then, so that's just the thing is toward any type of a demolition derby race that you'd be been into, and you're like, why do they even offer prizes to where that's like anything about people who want to get in those races and want to know about yeah that it's always say if I want that car. There's something about the that I don't like between being on the highway, it's like being in a salvage yard, and you're like wanting to I'm about to weld the door shut on this thing, and I'm going to take it to the demolition derby. I'm going to have fun with this piece of junk. But on your hand, there's a number of times that the car will be driving back and forth on that rocky road, and like between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Like it's somebody's rolling thunder. And you're like wanting to her. And you're like, well, do you think the people will be listening to that while in the demolition derby? Right? So as ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. And then like go destruction. But other than that, driving the car back and forth, you put it in reverse and put it in and drive and put it in neutral, and you're like but on the other hand, between the smashing and the banging, and as well as rear-ending, for the other drivers, especially knowing about for how you drive around the track, especially, and if anybody warns to any type of heavy smoke or any type of an exhaust or anything like that comes from the cars, especially. And we're warned to where that if we're really testing the metal and the material about for whatever that goes on during the time that for whenever you hit and then rear end another racer, and it's like I'm gonna rear into that right side on the left side and on the right side. On your hand, no one about really, is there any blind spots? Is there any blind spots that know what about for if you're gonna be in a race necessarily? It's also like an okay, everyone, it's time to start your engine. But on your hand, I'd be the first to grind on your wheel. But on your hand, that right here is like for the type of race that we're gonna be in, and thinking about is to where that yeah, you drive the car back and forth, and then while you're driving it, you're going to be driving going about maybe a certain speed of about 25, maybe 30 mile an hour, and thinking about us to her that yeah, that whenever that the engine, whenever engine parts gets to finally give out, as well as the car smoking bad enough, and knowing about for whatever the fires that they got to extinguish also. So you're like wanting to her that really that you're like wanting to her if you're going to have a car, they want to put it in a demolition derby. It's like somebody. There's something about the that I don't like. But other than that, like there's somebody with that like a toilet. Is that the water heater? No, I'm unfortunately that's the it's right down the street. Like is that the sound of thunder? No, I'm afraid it's that it's right down the street. I said, tell us rolling thunder. Or if it's like tell us like between the rolling and then between the running and then the rolling. So if I was like or as it goes to where yeah. You're like where it's like you ought to be able to participate in the race. And you're like more to where if the car were to sound like and you're like where to where well I tell you say hey, okay everyone, ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. And then you're like, well, like a go destruction. But on your hand, they have right here is like with this example right here of these cars right here. And if anybody will want to, where yeah, using the paintbrush as well. And if I can go ahead and yeah, trying to get the go ahead and use the blog bar. But anyway, try to draw it right here. Is that this car right here? I'm like this car right here will be in the lead right here. And like by the time they start, and then by the time that they start driving, from the east, to the west or so, and I say by the time that they take the first, you'll hit like tough as like from the back and maybe to the front or so and driving, and you're like wondering, or like yeah, that people be in a demolition derby, and like you're between climbing in through the window or so, and you're like wondering to her that there's something about the I don't like well think about this to her. What about the what about the that you may like from the driver's side? And like well I tell you one thing that yeah, just knowing about is toward the sound, the sound of the engine, the way the sound of the engine goes, it sounds like, and I'm like wondering to where, yeah, be driving it, and then just the way I drive it around the curves and stuff, and by the time I hear the, and you're like wondering to where the amount of hits it's going to likely take is to where about how much damage do you think it's going to take before it's ready to give out an about that yeah the amount of engine parts that more likely to come out of it especially, and you're like wondering to where with the driver that wanted the way that they drive it especially, and you're like wondering to where like and yeah that what's one thing that more likely that we maybe get out of, like I say, a demolition derby between winning prizes, though, about maybe about how the car drives before it's ready to play it out, and you're like, what is it? Whenever it takes a hit, and you're thinking about that, yeah, that it does a lot of damage, but on your hand, that knowing about who destroy the other person's car, especially, but it's like there's something about that I don't like, and I'll tell you one thing about the engine, okay. The engine, it don't sound like calm. It's like it don't like it sounds like bang 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 bang. And I tell you one thing, take that darn thing to the demolition derby so I can go ahead and drive it. I'm gonna drive the car and I'm gonna go ahead and drive it and I'm gonna blam it and ram it to the point to where I'm going to see about how much damage. But on the hand, that talk about over here is like right by that way you want to where that yeah that you have the engine right here, any type of hits necessarily, and we're like wanting to where for any kind of hits necessarily, and I can go ahead and use right here as a different color, and let's just say that with this different color right here, go ahead and a few hits or so, even with the car itself right here. And like wanting to where you hit it, from the back and then maybe from the front or so, and like say, what does it sound like whenever it takes after about maybe 4 hits? It sounds like well, Yeah, yeah, you all want to know about what it sounds like whenever it takes its first hit, especially if it's going to be a real hard hit. But on your hand, I talk about say for a salvage joke. It's like for like say for an F5, and I don't about say for the demolition derby race, and there are some races to where for whoever that crosses the finish line, but knowing about the last car that stops running is able to win the race. But I remember playing those games from a while back. It's like fucking you're in first place. Keep it up. So if anybody wanted to, yeah, you're gonna if your car is gonna the way you drive the car and it takes about maybe about 15 hits. It's like and then by the time it starts smoking, and you're like, one to where there's something about the that I don't like, and then like it's knowing about like yeah, the engine that starts smoking right here, and you're like one to where that after about, and then all of a sudden it's like and there's another one down. 10 to go. There's another one down. 9 more to go. And there's another one down. 8 to go. But on the other hand, there was like maybe about 11 vehicles that were participating in the demolition derby race, and knowing about like the day drive backwards, going about maybe 65 miles an hour or maybe 40 miles an hour, knowing about the day take a real hard hit, such as. And then knowing about like anything like such as and then like and then the smoke starts coming out, and as well as the dirt and the dust as well. It's like and it's like, okay, like there's another one down, 3 to go, and there's another one down, 2 to go. And then I wanted to know for who's going to be in first place. And I was like, and we have a winner. But other than that, I talk about, say, for Salvage Joke 5, and I was like, for Demolition Derby right here, and they have right here for anybody to say that more likely, what do you think that between the Pontiac Firebird or if it's going to be the Osborado or Jeep, Cherokee or 1968 or so, aluminum or any vehicle like that, and I would say the one that goes the fastest or the one that has a lot of sturdier metal is for the outside of the model and make of the vehicle to be able to take the most damage. But other than that, I talk about right here is like for the salvage joke. I say you better say that yeah, you may be able to find a few parts that you may need, for what you call anything about just like after the race or so. But still, that for anybody that may worry toward it, yeah, you put a car, here's the driver's side right here. Put a car in demolition derby. I'm going to say, yeah, any car you want to put into the demolition derby, and think of this that guy right here is your steering wheel, and I have a driver's side right here, like the doors will be welded shut, and people may wonder to where, why would you want to weld the doors shut on an old car? Like, well, so that way you can go and climb into the car. Like, why is it that you just can't open the door and close it? Well, I want to make sure that I'm fastened in also between I take a hard. Well, on the other hand, I talk about between. Alright, or or but on the other hand, I talk about right here, if like for the demolition derby though, it's like anything you have right here between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. Anybody say, yeah, getting the car ready for the demolition derby race, and it's like with the blowtorch, like. I'm about ready to weld the door shut and get rid of this thing ready for the demolition derby. And then you have right here's the toolkit right here. And you have right here's the helmet. But other than that, like between 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning, and like there's something about that I don't like. Like, well, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah. And like they were knowing about whenever the car is trying to drive up the hill and it rolls back down here, and it sounds like this. Like it sounds like it goes uphill and it goes back down here. It goes uphill and it goes back down here. And it's like Oh, I didn't know, like on the highway, especially. Excuse me, sir, do you need a hand? Excuse me, sir, do you need a hand? Oh, I think I got it. And I say, I back and forth. It's like there's something about the that I don't like. Like I say, like I want that car. I want that car so I can tear it up. I say like a park the darn thing. I know on top. I say for the Salvage Joke 5. Yeah, thanks for watching. May 25 and have a good